Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the...
Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase we're going to be looking at the 2016 Titans Return Zort and Highbrow. So what we're going to do with this video, we're going to have a quick look at them in both of their modes to help you decide how you want to display them. We'll have a look at the accessories that come with him, how you can combine them and use them in lots of different modes. We'll also do a comparison with his Generation 1 original self, and as I'm lucky enough to still have one of the empty boxes, we can have a look at the artwork and everything else that's on the back of the package. So let's get started. So as I've just said, this is the 2016 version, so that's the Titans Return. It's not the Walmart reissue that came out last year in 2021. The main differences, in fact, there's only two really. One is the colour. So you'll notice that this Titans Return, in fact, if I hold it up against the G1, you'll see what I mean. The difference in the Walmart and the original is the colour scheme. So the Walmart one, because it was packaged in a G1 box, has the lighter deco of the blue, but also the headmaster looks slightly different as well. The headmaster is more, well, it's exactly to resemble the headmaster's anime cartoon as well. So that's the two differences, just the colour scheme to the actual main body, and then the head is a complete new head, to be honest. Right, let's have a look at the figure itself then. And yeah, I love headmasters. When I was a kid, I think the headmaster gimmick was just absolutely fantastic. This figure itself as well, I do like this one. The articulation, as you'd expect, is brilliant. The head will, even though it is a headmaster, so you can see this is a little robot. For those of you who don't know, I'll show you him in a second. You can still fully rotate it. You can make him look up and down. There's the floppy legs, which I'll refer to again in a second. But of course, the main thing with this is the update is the articulation is brilliant. Without the rotor blades being in the way, you can of course fully rotate the shoulders. You can see it's a ball and socket inside there. Bicep and forearm will move up and down. The wrist has quite a bit of movement, to be honest. It's not just for transformation purposes, it does go all the other way as well. We don't have a waist tilt, it's fully fused there, but we've got the top of the hips, the top of the legs, the top of the knees. We don't have an ankle rocker, but there's these here which can basically balance him if you need to in a funny angle, or just in a pose, because they're the back of his toes. He looks really good though. Again, I suppose I've just got this a bit of nostalgia for headmasters. An undocumented feature is this actually does slide out. It doesn't come too far out. Couple of reasons. One, it could be a homage to G1, and I'll show you why in a second. And the other is because it could sort of be like a landing gear when it's in that particular mode. But as you'd expect, with a new figure, fully articulate, brilliant. Right, the two weapons that come with him are these. Now these can either be combined, which I'm going to show you in a second, or we can just obviously use them as normal blasters, one in each hand. I'm going to do that for now, and I'll show you what I mean about the combined stuff in a second. Before we go on to the alternate mode, let's have a look at the G1 original. So maybe it's a bit apparent now, the colour scheme, this is much lighter, and that's exactly what the Walmart issue will look like. And I think that the flip down there, and I've got to be super careful with this, is because this is what you shouldn't really do with headmasters. See how it folds down and you've got like a reading, which I think they really missed a trick of with these. They should have included that, but that's because I think the head is too small. With the older versions, you can see the head is much bigger. You've got this part underneath, and then it pushes the barrels down as you insert it. Careful to do that. And again, you see you've got the homage, the two guns as well. Brilliant. Right, let's move that out of the way and just pop him to the side. Let's look at the alternate mode then. And believe it or not, this is a heavy retool of the Scourge mold. But the alternate mode is brilliant. You've got the rotator blades. I suppose, again, the big difference was there's two blades on here. On the G1, there was 3. So that's slightly different. But of course, it is a much more modified helicopter. So a couple of things that you can do with this, and I'll show you now. What I meant to earlier with that landing gear could be like a skid. If I pull it out carefully, it's going to get stuck. Of course it is. There we go. Oh, it comes right out, so it could act as a landing gear as well. But again, as you see, there's no readings inside. Now, here is Zort, and this is something that they've changed. So for Generation 1 people like myself, if you don't know, it used to be called Gort, but they had to change him for trademark reasons to Zort. Again, he's much smaller than the original G1 figure, which is there. But of course, the articulation wise, the only difference really is you can turn this little guy's head, where with this one you couldn't. The arms and everything move as you'd expect it to be, but again, the other difference is on the back, that is just a head, whereas with the original one you could fold it down and I suppose at least disguise a bit of the fact that it was a head. Now, one of the main problems they said with this is he has floppy legs. This one isn't too bad, but that one there is really, really loose. And this guy, if you want, you can sit him right there in the cockpit, as you'd expect to, because he can pilot it. And then we can pop these guns. If you see the guns as well, see there's like a landing wheel as well underneath. So you can work it like that. So we can attach these. There's a couple of ways that you can attach these, to be honest. And I'm going to quickly just pop these underneath right now, like so. And these, of course, will attach in any of the 5mm ports. So there's a couple of places that you can attach them. You can attach them. If I take them back out, you can see that you've got two choices, there or there. But then the other thing you can also do, because there's also ports either side, you could put them at the front like this, which gives it a bit more of a, you know, a weapon, I suppose, arsenal sort of feel to it. But then the other thing that I suppose makes it kind of interesting to do is you can get these, and what we're going to do now, we're going to, right, where's them two dots gone? Ah, there you go. See, there's a tiny little dowel there, and then there's the tiny little dowel there. These you can now click together very carefully, and then you've got a choice, I suppose, if it's in robot mode like that, you've got a double barrel gun, or what you can do, there's two little holes on the bottom of Zort's feet there, and of course you've already seen the two dowels there. We can sit him comfortably if I just lift his arms up out of the way, and he can sit on there like that. So he can be transported around again, either if you wanted to be carried around in the large robot mode, or for some reason, if you wanted to, you could attach him there. But he's obviously very precarious because he's right next to next to the blades on his head. But I suppose, you know, it is a toy, and if you want to be playing with toys, then it's a good little gimmick that you can add to it. There we go then. Again, as I say, I've been doing lots of reviews of the original Headmaster, so I was requested to show some of the newer updated versions by themselves. There's also videos on the channel of comparisons between all of the Titans Return Headmasters and all of the G1s, if you just check the search bar. But there you go, guys. I hope you found this interesting. I hope you enjoyed looking at it. And again, the brilliance of this is we've got the two generational things. So we've got this, I suppose, is the current generation, and then we've got the original, and of course we've got the new generation who've got the Walmart versions. So there you go, guys. 2016 Titans Return Highbrow. Take care. Thanks for watching. Like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe.